All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are talking about something we've all used but probably don't think much about: wound dressings. We're going to go way beyond just slapping on a bandage and explore the honestly pretty fascinating science behind how we heal. So, let's get into it. You know that feeling, right? You're just standing there staring at this wall of boxes, hydrogels, alginates, foams, films, and you just end up grabbing whatever's cheapest. But what if I told you that picking the right one could actually, seriously, speed up your healing? Because here's the big secret: the dressing itself doesn't heal you. Your body does all the heavy lifting. The dressing is more like a stage manager. It's just there to create the perfect conditions so your body's own amazing repair crew can do its job without any interruptions. So, here's our game plan. We'll start with the basics, then get into what makes a healing environment ideal. After that, we'll open up a whole toolkit of different dressings, learn how to match the right dressing to the right wound, and finally, we'll cover how to apply it like a pro. Okay, first things first, let's just make sure we're all on the same page. What really is a dressing, and what's its fundamental purpose? So, at its absolute core, a dressing is a shield. Its job is to protect the wound, keep dirt and germs out, and maybe help stop some bleeding. Simple enough. But as you're about to find out, that is just the beginning of the story. Right. So if a dressing is more than just a simple shield, what does an ideal one do? This is where we get into the real science of creating that perfect healing space. A truly great dressing is a multitasking genius. It has to keep the wound moist because new cells need that moisture to move around. But it also has to soak up any extra fluid so the skin around the wound doesn't get all soggy. It has to be a fortress against bacteria. It can't stick to the wound when you take it off. Ouch. And this might surprise you, it has to keep the wound warm. And check this out. That temperature thing is a huge deal. Mitotic activity is just the sciencey way of saying cell division, the engine that drives healing. When a wound gets cold, that engine literally stalls. It puts the entire healing process on pause, sometimes for hours. So keeping the wound warm isn't just for comfort. It's like hitting the fast-forward button on recovery. Now that we know what a dressing is supposed to do, let's open up the toolkit. It's time to meet the specialists, the different types of dressings designed for very specific jobs. First up, we've got the absorbers. Think of these as the super sponges of the first aid kit. If you have a wound that's producing a lot of fluid, the technical term is exudate. These are what you reach for to keep things clean and dry. And how powerful are they? Well, one type, called alginates, are made from seaweed. Get this, they can absorb up to 20 times their own weight in fluid. 20 times. That is some serious power. Now, on the complete flip side, you've got the hydrators. What if the problem isn't too much moisture, but not enough? A dry wound is a slow healing wound, so these dressings do the exact opposite. They actually donate moisture back into the wound, recreating that perfect environment we were talking about. Two big names you'll see here are hydrogels and hydrocolloids. It's really easy to get them mixed up, but the difference is key. Think of hydrogels as a water bottle. They are mostly water, and their job is to give moisture, perfect for a burn. Hydrocolloids are smarter. They're moisture managers. They react with wound fluid to form this gel, keeping everything perfectly balanced. And finally, you have the rest of the specialists. You've got transparent films that act like a second skin, keeping water and germs out. You've got antimicrobial dressings with ingredients like silver or honey that fight infection. There are even collagen dressings that literally provide the building blocks for new tissue. Okay. So we've got our amazing toolkit. Now comes the most important part. How in the world do you know which tool to pull out of the box? It all boils down to one simple question you have to ask yourself. Just look at the wound. Is it dry and thirsty for moisture, or is it weepy and needs something to soak up fluid? That one little observation is going to guide your whole decision. It's really that straightforward. You're just matching the tool to the job. If the wound is dry, you reach for a hydrator, like a hydrogel. If it's producing fluid, you grab an absorber, like an alginate or one of those foam dressings. See? Simple. But wait, there's one more really critical thing to check for. You have to look for red flags, signs of infection. We're talking about pus, pain that's getting worse instead of better, or the skin around the wound feeling hot. If you see any of those signs, the game changes. And this is so important. Yes, there are amazing medicated dressings with things like silver or honey that can help, but they are not a replacement for a doctor. An infection is serious business, so your first call always should be to a healthcare professional. All right, you've picked the perfect dressing. You are halfway there. But even the best dressing in the world won't do much good if it's not applied correctly. So let's make sure we get this right. Look, it's a simple 5-step process, but every single step is vital. 1. Clean hands, clean surface. Always. 2. Stop any bleeding with a little bit of gentle pressure. 3. And this is the one people always forget. Clean the wound itself. Just flushing it with clean water is usually enough. 4. Put on the sterile dressing, making sure it covers the whole wound, plus a little extra. And 5. Tape it down, but not so tight that you're cutting off circulation. And I really want to hammer this point home. Putting a dressing on a dirty wound is like trapping the enemy inside your castle walls. You're just giving germs a warm, safe place to multiply. It is the absolute worst thing you can do. You have to clean it first, period. So, let's bring this all together. The next time you're standing in that pharmacy aisle, you're not going to see a confusing mess of boxes anymore. You're going to see a toolkit. You'll know that the right dressing isn't just a passive cover. It is an active partner in healing, creating that perfect stage for your body to work its magic. I mean, this knowledge completely transforms a simple bandage into a powerful piece of medical technology. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Now that you know the science behind this toolkit, what other simple, everyday health tools are we all underestimating?